Hi. Good morning and Merry Christmas. I hope you're all having a wonderful holiday. And I just thought it would be fun to come on here after I had a couple presents to open this morning and I had a nice leisurely morning. I thought it would be fun to come on here and do my little tradition I started last year of ranking all of the holiday films that I saw over the course of the year. This year, I saw 82. I actually saw one this morning that I watched, and which was a lot less than last year, which I saw 120 something last year. And so, yeah, there were just less because last year I watched the BET movies. This year I only saw one of those. There was only a couple Netflix movies this year. There were only 12 Lifetime movies this year and only 8 Up TV movies this year, so a lot less. And so yeah, so it was I was grateful for that. And I would say as a whole, there weren't that many this year that I like hated that I thought were terrible. For the most part, there were a lot that I was just like, it was fine, it was cute. I liked it okay. I gave a lot of like 3.25, 3.5 scores. And so yeah, even if something's pretty low, I probably didn't hate it. And this year. It was just that kind of year. So it's going to be fun. I'm excited, and we have the chat room open. So if you are there, and you can even do a super chat if you want. So put that in, and that would be fun. And yeah, let's dive in. Let's do this. Okay, so here we go. Number 82 is the recipe files. This was our QVC movie that we had this year, and I actually liked the one last year, but this one I just thought it was not very well done, and like it used the QVC element so clunky that I couldn't believe it. It's not really a movie. Like they would just stop and be like, okay, they just used a kitchen. They just used a KitchenAid food processor or blender or whatever, and we're gonna have a little spot about that. Like I don't know. It was wild. And so yeah, that's the worst one of the year, I'm afraid. Number 81 is The Family Switch. I really hated this movie. I thought the humor was really not funny, unoriginal, uncreative. You got incest jokes, you've got lots of flatulence jokes. You make the teenagers out to be stupid, like they would have no idea anything about their parents, and it was terrible. Number 80, I have The Secret Gift of Christmas. I still think that this she should have been an elf. It only made sense that she was magic. The fact that she wasn't an elf makes no sense to me. And uh, I liked some things about it, but I just thought that her character made no sense, and I hate to say it, I just don't think it was very well written, even though I think the stars were good in it. Number 79, I have An Ice Palace Romance. This was just so generic. It really didn't have anything going for it as far as the story, that's for sure. And the leads were both, they've done nice things and they were trying, but yeah, it was just so bland. Number 78 is where I have Never Been Christ. I just really hated this love triangle. The fact that all these people care so much about high school and high school rivalries and the ending. I don't think that either of them should have ended up with Chris. I think that they just resolving their friendship and moving out would have been fine, and it would have been good. But I don't know. I hated the Hanukkah family, the way that was portrayed, and that whole plot line was really badly done. And so yeah, it was one of my least favorites. Number 77, I have Navigating Christmas, and this one I really disliked. It did have a pretty good kiss in it, but I let's see here. Oh, nice. Got a comment. We have Magical Emma Rose. Hello, Rachel. Happy Christmas. Staying here for a bit, waiting for family to get ready for Christmas dinner. Love that. Welcome. Welcome. Okay, so yeah, Navigating Christmas, I just really disliked the most of the plot. That when she tells him that your father would be disappointed in you, that really rubbed me the wrong way. She doesn't know this man, and just the whole thing that she's expected to take care of this Airbnb. I mean, is to take care of this lighthouse, and this is supposed to be her vacation. I don't know. It was terrible. Number 76 is where I have Dashing Through the Snow. And I hated this on Disney Plus. I just thought Ludacris, it felt like he was reading cue cards. It really did. It was super, super bad. Little Ray Howery is just not for me. And yeah, I didn't like it. Number 75 is Flipping for Christmas. This was just as generic as you get. If you've never seen a Hallmark Christmas movie, then maybe you'd like it, but I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Marcus Rosner, he didn't have a great holiday season. He's super sweet and nice, but I didn't like either of his this year, so sorry about that. Let's see, we got some more comments. Happy Christmas, Rachel, from Jessica Burney. And Emma says, my favorite this year was Take Me Back for Christmas. Curious to see how high this ranks. Yes, you will be seeing that much later on. I can promise you that. Number 74 is where I have Letters to Santa. I really just, I'm not a big fan of like marriage and crisis kind of movies, and the conflict just wasn't my favorite, and I honestly don't think these people should be married. I felt like the resolution, I didn't buy it, I didn't like it, and so yeah, that was number 74. Number 73, I have A Not So Royal Christmas. I think there's some good ideas here, but I didn't like the execution. They had no chemistry at all, and the fact that she's mad at him for lying made no sense. She was lying the whole time too. It was not good. Number 72, I have Christmas with a Kiss. And I'm just extremely frustrated with the Mahogany movies. I feel like all of them this year have been very cheap and not well made. And I just, you can just, it's so obvious to me that Hallmark is just stopped caring about this franchise, and they're expecting to get like token points for diversity when they're not putting the money into the stories and to the filmmaking. This thing I felt like was really badly made, and I just I didn't love the story, and I love the cast. It was great, but I was very frustrated by it. Very, very frustrated. Let's see here. We have Jessica Burney. She says, loved the Santa Summit and Catch Me If You Claus. Hopefully those are higher on your ranking. Yeah, higher, much higher. Okay, 71. I have The Christmas Intern. This was on Lifetime, and I don't know why we can't get Jackie Harry to be funny in these movies. She's a funny woman. Why? There just wasn't much to it. There were some sweet moments in it, but yeah, not a good film. Number 70, A Christmas Letter. This was on Up TV. I didn't review it for them because it was just, even though it has like a pretty good cast, I just didn't like the story, and just it was very, you can tell they had like no budget. It just wasn't great. Wasn't great. Number 69, Mistletoe Match. This was very generic on Lifetime. I can't even hardly remember it. It was, as I remember, it was fine, but very, 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 very generic. Number 68, The Mistletoe Connection. This was on Up TV. I didn't review this for them because even though I thought the stars were really good, Markian and Jessica, but they had good chemistry. But it was one of those movies that's just like all business and saving the store. And I don't know, I was just really bored by the story, and they didn't give them enough like cute flirty moments to overcompensate from that. And so, yeah, this was a disappointment because it had a lot of potential. The meet cute was the best part of the whole movie, where she's in the elf outfit and they meet cute on the bus. That was the best part. The rest was just so bland and not funny enough, not banter enough to elevate it. 67 Planes, Trains, and Christmas Trees. I actually watched this last year, and I love Olivier and Catherine. I love Christmas on Fifth Avenue so much. So I was really expecting to love this, but the title, first of all, is completely inaccurate. I mean, this movie is very little road trip shenanigans, which you expect from this title. It's almost all them when they get to this town, and they're spending this whole time in this town and in this particular house, and it was boring. It was boring, but not. They do have such good chemistry that it's not a total miss, I guess. Then number 66 is Unforgettable Christmas. I, this one was like fun enough, kind of royal type movie. This woman, she forgets, she gets amnesia, and she forgets she's a princess, but she wants to be a fashion designer, and so she through various conferences she ends up being a fashion designer. She meets this guy. Anyway, it was cute enough. It was cute enough. 65 Christmas by Design. Yeah, this was totally generic. Girl from the city, come to the country. She remembers all the good things in life and Christmas. And it's a shame because the book was so much better and had so much more potential. Jingle Jammies. And why they I don't even know, they didn't in the book, that it's the man who's the designer, and he's the designer of Christmas jammies, and that was fun. That was creative, and then she's the mechanic in the book in a small town, and so they changed it all around. But I had a lot of fun on the podcast with my friend Caroline, who is a vintage designer, a collector. She collects vintage clothes and sells them, and she's awesome. And that was really fun. So that elevated it, and I loved that episode of the podcast. Number 64, Reporting for Christmas. This was on Hulu. It's fine. Totally generic, average. Yeah. 63, Best Christmas Ever. This was not very good. Like, I don't understand why, just because they find out that Brandy's has lost a child, and all of a sudden, like, all the way that they were treating her completely changes. And like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Like, all of a sudden, you can't hate her because she's lost a child. Like, that doesn't make any sense. But I did like the plot between the younger kids trying to figure out Santa, and how that whole part of it worked. And so if I was just talking about that, but everything with this jealousy and envy and everything between the women, I hated. But yeah, I guess that's why it's as high as it is. It's probably too high. It should probably be down low. Anyway, it is where it is. 62, I Have a Season for Family. This was sweet enough on Hallmark, but I just can't understand this decision to not tell your child that he's adopted. I mean, it makes it all seem like some kind of scandal, like something you should be ashamed of or embarrassed of. And so that whole, just the premise really hurt it. But I liked a lot of moments in it, and it was sweet enough. So 61, Royal Christmas Crush. This was from the summer. This is a stupid movie, but I did kind of enjoy it. How silly it is. I mean, the accents and a well-meaning condo developer. She wants to make low-income housing. I mean, wow, you never see that. It's not good, but whatever. So then the one that I watched this morning, Holiday in the Vineyards. I don't even know why I put it this high, but whatever. It's pretty. This thing is just so generic, so generic. He's the son of the vineyard, big bad wine company. He's going to buy these smaller wines, even though they're for sale. So I don't even know why this he had to lie and everything about it, but he's undercover or whatever, and so he can get the bid in the right bid. And anyway, and they fall for each other. This is hardly a Christmas movie, very minimal. And I don't think it's as good as the California Christmas movies, which were not good, because it's not as steamy as those. At least those had that going for it. They were kind of sexy. This isn't. So it is very bland. It's too high. I don't know why I have it that high. It's just so maybe because I saw it on Christmas. 59, Destined 2, Christmas Once More. This is the only GAC movie that I watched, and the only reason I watched it was because I liked one the previous year, and because it was made in Utah, and Casey Elliott is Utah guy, so I watched it. It was the only one I watched, and it was fine. It was pretty boring, but cute enough, I guess. It was not as good as the one last year. So there you go. Number 58, I have Yuletide the Knot. And this, I think the like wedding planning parts of it and like the banter and the side characters having like Melissa Peterman and people like that, that was fun. When they tried to go for drama and her like not being able to deal with her father's relationship and stuff like that, that really was bad. But the good stuff I liked enough to give it like a mild recommendation. um, let's see here. I'm sorry if we're off to dinner now. I'll watch the full video and comment later. Love all your content so much. I added Red, White, and Royal Blue to my watch list yesterday. Oh, thanks. I hope you love it as much as I did. Okay. So then 57, I have Christmas Frequency. This was cute enough. A little story of the Denise Richards character getting set up on all these dates. But she's actually still in love with her ex-husband. And one of the guys, the girls had a crush on. The producer has had a crush on, and so it was cute enough. I liked it. And then 56, Mystery on Mistletoe Lane. I think this was fun enough. The clues. I didn't think there was much chemistry, but him, they're figuring out I think it was his grandfather, his father's father, and that whole thing, and repairing their relationships. It was sweet. It was cute. 55, I have A World Record Christmas. This was also cute. I liked the fact that it wasn't that the autism wasn't like steeped in trauma. Sometimes they act in these movies that an autism diagnosis. I'm not saying it's not hard. It absolutely can be very challenging, but they act like it's like the worst. They might as well be dead, which I liked in this one, that it was very like positive and uplifting. And the whole thing with the real dad was a little heavy-handed, I thought, but it was sweet. It was a sweet little movie. Then Where Are You Christmas? I have 54. I liked the concept, and the black and white was cool to look at, but I didn't feel like what she did deserved this like curse kind of thing. Like, to me, yes, she did wish that Christmas would go away, but aside from that one moment, like her behavior is like she was aware that she was feeling this way about Christmas, and she was concerned about it. And as soon as her brother asked her to give up her trip to come home, she did, which says something to me. So I didn't feel like her behavior was worthy of this curse. And also, the dad character was, I couldn't believe it, unbelievable. So so angry, and I just like, what is your problem? I don't know. I didn't like that. So that's it, 54. 53, I have Friends and Family Christmas. I obviously like the diversity. I think that's great, but I just thought the story was very pedestrian and didn't do a whole lot. And I thought the chemistry was was weak. It was just, yeah. So it was a disappointment. This one for me. 52. I have How to Fall in Love by Christmas. Terry Hatcher, she's so good in these movies. You'll see her coming up, and this one was solid. It was cute, but nothing memorable. Nothing memorable in this one. 51, Christmas Casanova. I really liked the leads in this one. They were good, and some nice banter. It was fun. I enjoyed it. 50, Christmas Island. Let's see here. Not Sarah says, Happy Christmas. Thanks for all the reviews this season. I'm curious to hear your top picks to see if there's any I missed I should go back to. Yes. All right. Okay. So let's keep going. Number 50, Christmas Island. I liked the whole setting of Christmas Island, the lobster tree, some of those other things. It had a really good cast. There wasn't like huge chemistry, but it was fine. And the family I kind of liked more almost than the two leads. But I think there's more interesting things that I could have done with Christmas Island, and especially once I learned about the postmark and kind of everything that goes on there at Christmas Island. But it was cute enough. 49, A Merry Scottish Christmas. I think they didn't even need the romance in this. It was rushed. It didn't work. But everything with Lacey and Scott, I liked, and I liked I bought their chemistry as siblings, and and it, like, the fact their mom wouldn't tell them about this is crazy. But the I thought everything, for the most part, everything with them worked quite well. And so yeah, it was fun, and I loved her dress. It was really good. 48, To All a Good Night. I think that the reveal was kind of grown worthy on this. Like, in no world would you be like, how dare you lie to me or whatever. You would just be like, oh my gosh, you know my dad? That's amazing. So I didn't like that, but for the most part, I liked it. It had nice moments. Her and her stepmom, I thought that was nice, and the town feeling and decorating the trees, and it was pleasant. 47 is where I have Time for Her to Come Home for Christmas. I think the romance didn't really work that well for me with this, but the reveal was stupid. Why would you, like, there's no reason to keep your secret that you're an aunt. Like, that's stupid. But all the stuff with the choir, I really enjoyed. I thought that was sweet, and that was most of the movie. So it worked pretty well for me for the most part. I do think that forcing them to sing this song is the big Christmas song makes no sense. Like, it's a church choir. They would sing a song about Jesus. So that was stupid. But overall, it was cute enough. And let's see here. Love the Will Camp cameo. Oh yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, I did love the Will Camp cameo in Scottish Christmas. That was fun this season. A lot of cameos. 46, I have Diary of a Wimpy Kid Christmas. I would have this higher just based on the story, because I think the story was actually really sweet and really good for Christmas. I just don't love this animation. I just don't like the way it looks. I just wish they were just doing the sketches like the books. It's just not for me. But it's cute enough. It's cute enough. 45, I have Miss Christmas Comes to Town. I think this was cute little movie. It's very sad that she's gonna die, and all the secrets and everything like that. But it was a nice story of friendship between all the characters, and the little romance that Barbara Niven's character gets to have was sweet, and so I enjoyed it. Number 44, Ladies of the 80s, A Diva's Christmas. My favorite part about this movie was sort of these women who are amazing playing matchmaker. That was fun. I would watch a whole movie just with that, or just a reality show of these women playing matchmaker. They were really that was fun. Some of the other like attempts to bring in drama or to have a plot, I just didn't work as well. But hey, for what it is, I think they did a good job. Number 43, I have Country Hearts Christmas. I think that this series is actually pretty entertaining. I like the family, the drama, the music is pretty good. It's entertaining. I'd watch more for what they do, and it was really fun to have Ryan on because he knows wrestling so well. So to have him on the recap to talk about these movies, I think was a lot of fun. 42 is where I have It's a Wonderful Knife. And I think they could have done a better job in this of paying homage to It's a Wonderful Life and poking sort of more fun at, things. There's hardly anything except for the title and the basic concept of wishing you had never been born. They could have had a lot more fun with it, but it was, if you're looking for a holiday horror, it was like fun enough. There were some pretty grisly kills for my taste, at least. And I love Justin Long. And so it was fun to see him in this as playing like the bad man of the bad mayor. And I think it was actually poking fun at Hallmark movies more than it was It's a Wonderful Life. And so maybe that's why I enjoyed it more than most. So yeah. 41, I have The Christmas Ringer. This was the only BET movie that I watched this season because Greg McBride was involved with it, and I really enjoyed it. It's a simple story, but it kind of avoided some of those elements I didn't like in the BET movies last year with the cat fights. And there is a cat fight. There's a with this woman who's they end up stealing their song and everything for the competition, but it wasn't as unpleasant as some of them are. And the music was really good, so that was a lot of fun. Number 40, Laughing All the Way. And Jake Epstein, super charming. And I liked the woman, Penny Zaid. But the comedy wasn't really that great, the stand-up. And that's always sort of lacking. I wish they would get somebody like Jen Kirkman or someone like that in one of these kind of movies to really, pop it up and make the comedy really good. And the conflict was ridiculous. That that if he doesn't show up to film this big Hollywood blockbuster on Christmas Eve, then he's going to lose the chances. If any studio would do that, it's absolutely absurd. But whatever. It was fun enough. 39, A Cowboy Christmas Romance. It was kind of fun that I got quoted in Yahoo about this movie. And I had a fun time recapping it with Natasha. I think the sexiness was sort of overplayed. They got a lot of mileage off that. It really wasn't all that hot, but I guess it's fun enough. And a lot of drama between the family, and but they had good chemistry, and it was something, I guess, different this season. So there you go. 38 is where I have Holiday Road. And this was fun. I enjoyed it. I liked following the different plots and the different characters. And in fact, it was loosely based on a true story. It was kind of fun. And it was nice that the influencer wasn't totally insufferable. They did a pretty good job with that character. The old man and the woman and him saying goodbye to his daughter. That was very good. Yeah, it was sweet. So then at 37 is where I have Christmas at the Amish Bakery. And I liked the fact that the Amish characters weren't portrayed as like rude and judgmental, which is sometimes what you get. And here they were very loving and kind, and they were excited to see their daughter and sister, and they missed her. And it was really the stronger parts of the movie were that family element, her and her sister, her and her dad. I really enjoyed that, and the baking was fun. And making the cookbook I enjoyed. The romance wasn't as good, especially at the end when he's all mad at her, which made no sense. But I and the acting wasn't was a little weak in it, but I still overall really enjoyed it. And it was so fun to have Gladriel on the podcast talking about it. I mean, because she wasn't even involved in it in any way, and a lot of like I was so thrilled when she had such fond memories of the podcast being interviewed that she wanted to just be a guest, and I will definitely have her on again because it was. I don't know, we just got along really well, and that was such a fun episode of the podcast. So I hope you all enjoyed that. At number 36 is why I have Our Christmas Mural. Actually, I liked this more than it seems like most. It was a very like grown up relationship, and the way it grew, and I thought was well done, and I thought they had decent chemistry. And the end, when they work him into the mural, I thought that was nice, and yeah, it was all right in my opinion. 35, Christmas on Cherry Lane. This was another cute movie. I liked the concept of the different love stories. I particularly 1973 and 2023 were my favorite. 1999, even though I love James Denton and Catherine Bell, the younger characters in that were not for me. But it was cute. It was fun. I enjoyed watching the different love stories and putting it all together. It was good. 34, Everything Christmas. And I enjoyed this, I think, more than most, particularly whenever she would talk about her grandma and how much she missed her grandma. And that was some of the best acting I think Cindy's ever done. And that really hit home for me because I miss my grandma so much, and especially at Christmas. And so that alone bumped it up. 33, I have Miracle in Bethlehem, PA. This was a lot better than I expected it to be. I liked the way that the story worked out, the community, the way that it handled the faith elements. I thought was in the sense of I liked the group prayer over the food and her praying throughout the movie for strength and patience, and then the ending scene with her mom when her mom says you were worth the hard, I thought was very good. There were things about it that were a little bit. I didn't really need every character to be a symbol of the Christmas story, and some of that stuff I didn't like as much, but I really thought it was cute. Number 32, My Norwegian Holiday. I liked the chemistry was, I think, good. I liked seeing Norway. The story, I think, was overall pretty good. Yeah, I liked it. I'm trying to think. If I can remember the reason why it's not higher. I can't even remember. Yeah, it was just where it ended up in my ranking. There's so many movies. Sorry, guys. Okay, 31, Candy Cane Lane. This movie is way too long. I should probably have this lower, but anyway, it is way too long. It should not be 2 hours. And Julian Bell, I didn't really like, but overall, I thought the creativity and I loved the animated characters and the lore, the world building. It was funny, and yeah, I liked it. Number 30, Dial S for Santa. Now this is pretty high for this. I don't know. This is too high for this anyway. But Dial S for Santa. It was a fun mystery. She's a detective. I mean, she wants to be a detective. She goes down there, sees all these robberies happening in her town. She starts looking into it and comes into conflict with the detective working the case. And of course, Santa is a suspect. The acting is not the best in this movie, and the budget isn't like nothing, but I still had fun with it. I liked it. I thought it was, I enjoyed putting the clues together and trying to guess who's Santa and the characters. So there we go. Let's see. Oh, Jessica says, I live in Norway where most of My Norwegian Holiday was filmed. Oh, that's so fun. It was I enjoyed it. I should have it higher. I'm sorry. Okay. 29, Christmas Time Capsule. I don't love the plot of this as far as like her taking the time capsule and him being engaged to another person, but I thought they handled it pretty well when the way that he breaks up with the other woman and the way that it all kind of played out. You didn't feel any sense of like cheating, really. So I thought they did it just about as good as you could do it. And these two have obviously such great chemistry. They're a couple in real life. I thought the banter was pretty good, and the ending was really good. And overall, I thought it was very romantic. So there we go. 28, checking it twice. This was where we started off the season, and I liked the family element that he sort of almost falls more in love with her family than with her. I mean, you talk about two beautiful people. Oh my gosh, Kim Matula and Kevin McGarry, gorgeous. That anybody would dump them. But I liked the like little Christmas games that they had, and the overall message and the chemistry. It was fun. 27, Heaven Down Here. I think that this was really elevated by all of the performances. I thought they were all good. Even you got Felicia Rashad in a smaller role. She was a lot in the movie, but it was a pretty good arc for for her character, for Tina Lifford, and Richard Harmon playing this grumpy boss, and Crystal Joy Brown. They got her to sing twice. That was nice. And you have the pastor character. And they were all kind of flawed characters that were growing, and it was I think pretty well done faith-based film, and yeah, I liked it. It was good. 26, Merry Magic Christmas, and this had like the most bonkers, bizarre summary. I don't know what's going on with recurring numbers and all this stuff, but it's basically about this struggling theater and this community theater, and she's an auditor, and she comes in and tries to help the theater, and they clash at first, and then they fall in love. I mean, it's as simple as that. It's very basic, but I really liked both the leads a lot, and I thought, I'm a sucker for community theater, so I liked it even with the weird summary. 25, Drew Noel. I think for the most part, the destination movies really worked this year for Hallmark, which I don't usually say. But yeah, and Brent Daughtry, sometimes he falls flat for me as a leading man, but I kind of liked him as this grumpy guy. He was funny to me, and I like him more. I didn't even need the romance really in this movie, but as they were like they were researching, trying to find more about the journal. I liked that whole element of it, and the little girl was cute, and the Père Noël and other sort of French traditions in the market and all that was fun. So I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. I did. 24, Under the Christmas Sky. I liked how they brought in some elements of Saturnalia and other elements of Christmas that you don't typically talk about in Hallmark. The romance didn't do a whole lot for me, but I really liked the little girl and her helping her at Christmas, and then the side romance with Andrew Buchel and the museum curator lady was really fun, and so that kind of gave the movie a big boost for me. Is the two of them. 23, Mom's Christmas Boyfriend. This was just this weekend on Lifetime, and I thought it was really cute. It's a story we've seen a lot of times with the little girl wishes that her mom, like in a contest, wishes that her mom could have a new husband, new boyfriend, and it ends up there's like two options. I didn't really love the way they staged the ending of the movie with this other guy so she's with our main guy, and then the other guy, and she's with the guy, and then she breaks up with the other guy, and then she's back to our guy. And it was just, it wasn't very romantic the way it was staged. But other than that, I thought it was a pretty cute movie. And I guess I'm a sucker for that like whole plot of we gotta match make our girl, but oh really, she's in love with this other guy. So at 22, Holiday Hotline. I really thought it was cute. I love Emily Tennant. A lot of funny lines with dealing with the turkeys and everything like that. I didn't love the ending, the way that the ending played out. I mean, I like that they're in love, but that he got all upset, like, how could you lie to me, and all that. Like, I think from that would have been much better if he'd been like, oh my gosh, I loved you then and I love you now, like all of that. Uh, I, I, I just, I don't know, but I still overall really enjoyed it. It was very sweet, and I'd watch it again. I thought it was fun. 21, Yes Chef Christmas. This is like your enemies to lovers. This also was an adoption story. That was a huge thing this season for TV movie makers. Lots of adoption plots. The drama I didn't need as much as the back and forth between these two in this contest and all the cooking and everything. And I really had a good time on the podcast with Haley Strong. I love anytime I get to record with her, and so it's a really fun episode of the podcast. Number 20 is, now we're getting into the top 20. Very exciting. Number 20 is My Christmas Guide. I really liked this. I thought it was very sweet. I liked the relationship between Amber and Ben, and I mean the her boyfriend. It's ridiculous, over the top, bad boyfriend, but it made for some nice lines, like when he's like, I may be blind, but I can see that you're not the right guy for her or whatever. And that was a great line. And so yeah, I liked it. Number 19, I have Mystic Christmas. I love the two leads in this. I liked the seal was really fun. I liked her and her sister and their relationship, and then the ending was very swoon worthy. They both get to live out their dreams and support each other, and that was nice. Number 18, I have Merry Little Batman. I really enjoyed the animation. I thought this was funny. I thought it was sweet. It's too long. It should have just been 45 minutes and not been an hour and a half, but I still really enjoyed it. Number 17, I have A Biltmore Christmas, and a lot of other people have this much higher. I enjoyed the throwback to The Bishop's Wife and old Hollywood, and I think captured Cary Grant extremely well. And Joy and him have nice chemistry. I really enjoyed it overall. I do think they wasted Jonathan Frakes. They did like nothing interesting with him, and I just would have done the ending different. I think it would have been better if they'd been a little braver and had the ending be she saved his life and he went on to live a great life, and she believed in love again because of her interactions. They just hardly spent any time together. I don't think there's enough there for him to do what he does, and I just think it would have been better, more poetic, more moving if the ending had been she saved his life. But it still was a good movie, and I enjoyed it. I hated her dress so much. It was not for me, but that's okay. So 17, that's A Biltmore Christmas. 16, A Heidelberg Holiday. I really enjoyed this one. I enjoyed getting to see the Heidelberg Market. I enjoyed the fact that they're there for like a month. It was really nice. And you got to see their relationship kind of grow a little bit. And I liked seeing the advent, and it was a super fun episode of the podcast, having Leslie booked on, and getting to talk about this movie with not only a German podcaster, but he has a podcast on Christmas movies. I thought that was such a coup for the podcast. So if you haven't listened to that episode, you really should. It's a fun one. But yeah, I liked those two leads. I liked the family. I liked the story. So there we go. It was funny. I liked everything at the post office. That guy was really funny. So yeah. Number 15, Christmas in Notting Hill. And I really enjoyed this. I thought it was, romantic, and I liked everything between the sisters and their dynamic, and the idea of her like falling in love with a celebrity. She doesn't even realize he's a celebrity. And yeah, I liked it. It was cute. Number 14, Haul Out the Holly Lit Up. This was really funny. I really enjoyed it. I loved the addition of the Johnsons. They were so fun. And yeah, like the things saying that Lacey is a Grinch. That made me laugh. I like the proposal, like the romance. Wes Brown, he brought it. I love Melissa Peterman. So it was great. And Stephen Tobolowsky. 13, I have Catch Me If You Claws. Really enjoyed this. Great kiss. The fact it was all set at night and there was all these clues and great leads and romantic and funny. The improv troupe was great, fun. Yeah, this is really, really delightful. Number 12, I have The Naughty Nine. This is on Disney Plus, and so much fun. These kids with they're on the naughty list and they're storming the North Pole, and the production values was really strong. And Winslow Fegley is such a charming young kid actor. I love him. He was in Timmy Failure, and that was a favorite of mine a couple of years ago. You don't get that much Danny Glover Santa, but he is good as Santa. And the whole thing is just a really wonderful, sweet, funny family movie, holiday movie. 11 is where I have Genie. I did not know this was coming out. I had no idea that it was a Christmas movie, anything about it. And I watched it and I thought it was so sweet and so funny and well written. And I'm like, who wrote this? And I look, Richard Curtis. So if you like Notting Hill, Love Actually, About Time, if you like Richard Curtis, you'll like this. It's really sweet and funny, and I just really enjoyed it. So there we go at 11. Number 10, Christmas at the Chalet. This has got to be one of the big surprises of the season for sure. I loved this movie. I don't know what I gave it in the preview, but not high, I don't think, because I thought it was going to be about her trying to get back together with her husband, but actually it wasn't. She was just trying to spend time with her son, who was at the chalet. So she ends up working because there's no space, there's no vacancy. She ends up working as a maid, but it's never a shameful thing. Like, it's actually kind of empowering for her, which I loved. And she meets this other guy, and then her son has this relationship, which was really cute, and it was just really well done. It was a good movie, and it's all set in the ski resort, and so there's lots of snow and it just feels super Christmassy. And I thought it had a very nice message, good performances. And Terry Hatcher, she's just killing it right now with these rom-coms. She is good. She is very good. Number 9 is Journey to Bethlehem. And this was kind of fun. Not only did I interview the director, which was really enjoyable, Adam Anders, which you can find on the podcast, but it's the first time I have ever been quoted in promotional material for a national released movie, for a wide released movie. So that was fun. But I really enjoyed it. I loved the music. I loved how creative it was. I felt like it was really challenging in its base, and some of the, like, there's a whole song where Joseph has an angel and a devil that he's singing with, and things like that. I thought were like pushing their base a little bit and trying something creative, and they weren't afraid of the camp and being big and body, and especially Antonio Banderas' song. And so yeah, I liked the way they leaned into the love story between Joseph and Mary, and I think Hallmarkies will really like this movie because it's a romance. It's a romance. Number 8 is where I have We're Scrooged. I really thought this was clever. I liked this take on Christmas Carol for it being a couple that was getting Scrooged, and they really do it. They do a better job with her being the Scrooge than him being the Scrooge. The very beginning, she disses the bell ringing Santa, which was really funny, but the two of them, they had nice chemistry, and it was so much fun to see Andrew Bushell playing the evil version of himself. That's how they did Future, which I thought was really creative. And they have for present, it's an AI bot, which I thought was also pretty creative and clever. I enjoyed it. Number 7, Sealed with a List. I really just thought these two had great chemistry. I liked how their story evolved over even more than a year. You saw her character grow and their relationship grow. I felt very authentic, and the kiss at the end was so good. It was way better than I expected. That's for sure. Number six, Round and Round. I really thought this was a hoot. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed all the references, all the side characters. I liked seeing Brian Greenberg in a Hallmark movie. I love him. And Vic McKellis, I think is her name. She was great. I really enjoyed her. So hopefully we'll see her again in more Hallmark movies. Yeah, but this was just a delight. It was really fun. Number five is Where I Have Xmas. I loved this movie. I thought that the whole concept was really funny, and it tapped into sort of the classic the classic screwball comedy elements, of these people being stuck together, and they hate each other first, and then what's going to happen, and that, because I think my family, if they knew for sure that us one of their kids wasn't coming, they'd invite exes over for the holidays. I can totally picture my parents doing that. And then he shows up, and I don't know. So I loved all the side characters. I thought it was really funny, and yeah, it ended up number five. Number four, The Santa Summit. This was just so much fun. I love this story of friendship between these three. I think they did an incredible job of building up this relationship in just like a few scenes, so then they could be apart the whole time, and then the end be together, and you feel happy about it. And then you also have the other relationships. Of course, the nerd relationship was really sweet and charming, and it was funny. It was creative. It was great. It was great. Number three, I have Rescuing Christmas. And I just loved this movie. I thought the whole concept of her having to introduce everybody to Christmas without any of the things of Christmas was so well executed, so clever, so interesting, like what they would pick, and things like Celebration being like the Christmas song that's not a Christmas song. So clever, so smart. It was funny. I loved the two elves. It was so fun to get to interview Bailey, and then Rachel Lee Cook, who we've been trying to interview for a long time. So that was really exciting. And Sarah Montana, who I love so much. All of that was really great, and I thought that it had everything that you could want in a Christmas movie. It was clever, it was creative, it was sweet, it was great. Number two is Where I Have Take Me Back for Christmas. I absolutely loved this movie. I just thought that it was so emotionally true. And I know some people thought it was over the top, to each their own. I disagree. I thought when she sees her mother again, I just I cried practically even just talking about it. Like the what I thought it was so well done, and the whole journey that her character goes on, uh, and when she has to say goodbye to her mom again, it just it really worked for me. I thought it was emotional and true and wonderful. It was great. And then the number one holiday film, it feels like it's not really even fair to compare it with all of these, because this is like a feature film and the rest of these are, made for TV. But except for Journey to Bethlehem, I guess. I got it. It's The Holdovers. The Holdovers is the best. What is really the best movie of 2023. So not just holiday film. This has a perfect script, such great characters, incredible acting. It's really funny. It's really endearing. It's got all your Christmas feels that you could want. It's so good. I absolutely love this movie. And so yeah, if you're out there in the Hallmarkies world and you haven't seen it and it is playing by you, definitely check it out. It's wonderful, and it's one of the finest films of 2023. Period. Let alone holiday. So if you have a chance to see it, I highly recommend it. And I think it's on digital now as well. So yeah, you can watch it that way as well. So there we go. That's it. That is all 82 films that I saw, the holiday films that I saw this year. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you're having a wonderful Christmas. And thank you so much for supporting the Hallmarkies podcast. And please check out our Patreon. It's so much fun. We have weekly exclusive reviews that you get. We have watch alongs. We've done them with tons of the people that we've talked about. Everybody from Paul Campbell. Did I forget? I just realized I don't think I talked about Paul Campbell's movie. I forgot to put that on this list. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just realized. I'm sorry. But um, but yes. So we've had tons of talented people on, and we have this week on Thursday. We have Jonah Feingold on from Xmas, and he is going to be. We're going to be doing a watch along with him and watching Xmas, and so that's like going to be such an amazing opportunity. This man knows his Christmas movies. And so I think this is going to be super, super good, and his rom-coms. So if you want to participate in opportunities like that, to get to hear from directors of Hollywood films, how their movies were made, check out the Patreon. I would really appreciate it. And also we have the merch store, and we have tons of fun designs, and I would appreciate you taking a look at that. And again, hope you all have a very, very, very Merry Christmas, and we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.